Hey guys, it's me, Arun Brown.
Arun Brown?
Guys, if you don't already know this, I live in a little place called Texas, and there's a lot going on in Texas this week, so we kind of got to look at it.
Okay.
That okay with you, or no? You just end the video now? So Texas resident Joseph Coven has passed away. From what I understand, he got bit by a horse or something. So to his family, from all of us here at the program.
You're welcome.
So yeah, Texas is really on its bullshit lately. And
I'm calling bluff.
in Texas, 666. Yeah, I'm definitely dreaming. Okay, fine. 666 laws take effect Wednesday, including many conservative priorities. Probably the most shocking one, the most
Disgusting.
one, is the abortion thing. This is pretty serious stuff right here. I'll just read from this New York Times thing. The Texas law known as Senate Bill 8 amounts to a nearly complete ban on abortion in Texas because 85 to 90% of procedures in the state happen after the 6th week of pregnancy. They're doing this really bizarre legal maneuver here. I'll read you this. Usually a lawsuit seeking to block a law because it is unconstitutional would name state officials as defendants. However, the Texas law, which makes no exceptions for pregnancies resulting from incest or rape,
It is disgusting.
bars state officials from enforcing it and instead deputizes private individuals to sue anyone who performs the procedure or, quote, aids and abets it. I've never heard anything like this. Is truly bizarre. This is truly bizarre because they're saying, look, what we're going to do is incentivize people to sue basically anyone involved in an abortion. Truly, only one way to describe this.
Weird.
The patient may not be sued, but doctors, staff members at clinics, counselors, people who help pay for the procedure, and even an Uber driver,
Uber cars.
and even people who drive
Uber cars.
to take a patient to an abortion clinic are all potential defendants. Plaintiffs who that's what? I'm sorry.
What?
Could you imagine you get a call from like a lawyer or something? He's like, yeah, remember when you did that like 30th drive of the day because you're trying to make money driving
Uber cars.
Yeah, one of those that lady got an abortion. And then you're on the phone like, well, who is this? This is truly from the minds of demented lunatic. This is true lunacy. Plaintiffs do not have to live in Texas. They just have to have any connection to the abortion or show any injury from it and are entitled to $10,000 and their legal fees recovered if they win. Prevailing defendants are not entitled to legal fees. That's kind of weird.
Why?
Yeah, so this is definitely like in my lifetime, the kind of the furthest they've taken this kind of crap. This is such an easy scam for these the political class, let's just call them, because this is not going to affect them because there's all these stories. There was some article that came out a long time ago that was like, hey, it's kind of weird, like a lot of these guys who are like, they're like, abortion is a sin punishable by stoning or whatever. And then it comes out like 2 months later that like, oh, I'm sorry, I had an affair and she got an abortion and me and my family will pray on this. We will be praying about this. I wouldn't say sorry about it. This is a very diverse group of people who came up with this. Why are they all Crips? They're all doing Crip. This is sick. Really only one thing to say about this.
It is disgusting.
Oh, you know what? There's one more thing.
That's really weird.
So the other thing they're what's the matter with Kansasing around with is, of course,
Weird.
this critical race theory thing. So let's check that out. Yay! So I was reading through this actual law that they're passing about critical race theory in, I guess, high schools. Yeah, K through 12. I was reading through the actual language of this law because I'm a very cool guy with an active social life. And this one, I think even they know is a scam. That the people who, like the Republicans who are like going off on this crap, I think even they know like how thin of a scam this is. Because in the language of this law, they're not really trying to mandate like a different kind of teaching, and it goes through this long thing in the beginning where you should teach about MLK. It's a very like a guy who think at a party or something who thinks that everybody thinks he's racist. So he's like, I love it. Denzel Washington's one of my favorite actors. How can I be racist? MLK, that was a good guy. But there's still some kind of a wacky, interesting stuff in here. So you can't require or make part of the course with respect to their relationship to American values, slavery and racism are anything other than deviations from, betrayals of, or failures to live up to the authentic founding principles of the United States, which include liberty and equality. Well, not a lot of slavery in those early times until pretty recently, guys. We kind of covered this. It's kind of a bizarre thing that they're trying to do, which they're kind of, what they really want to do here, I read through all this, and if you read through this, you can kind of tell what they're trying to do is like, that's all in the past. That's all in the past. Yeah, but doesn't the past have consequences in the present? No, it's just independent. The other thing that shows you that this is kind of a busy box, is a little bit of a scam, is that teachers are like, yeah, we were never teaching critical race theory or anything like that in the first place. What's going to kind of let's come up with something let's come up with a ghost that will freak them out and scare them, and then we'll say, we're going to fight against that. If you have a kid, I think this is a good strategy. You say to your kid, because parents always say to their kid, look, there's not a monster. Calm down. There's no monster in your room. There's no boogans. There's no goblin. There's no hobgoblin. But what if you went the other direction? You said, look, kid, my child, actually there is a Frankenstein in your room, hiding. And frankly, the only way you're gonna keep him from biting you is if you're a good boy. You know, you're at Target and the kid just starts having a little kid meltdown. The kid looks you right in the eye and says, I'm calling bluff. You say, all right, you know what? Look, you just lost Frankenstein protection. That's basically what they're doing. They're saying, hey, little kids, hey, grown-up little kids who actually have kids out there. They're teaching your kids that being white is wrong and bad. And they make the kid come up to the front of the class and say, look at this pasty little piece of And so this gets this gets these parents little panties in a twist. And now there you go. You don't really have to do any real work as a legislator. And you can go back to doing this. Teaching critical race theory isn't happening in classrooms, teachers say in a survey. We don't get it. This objection is being pushed upon us, and it's not even happening in our classes, an English teacher in Phoenix area said. Teachers nationwide said K-12 schools are not requiring or pushing them to teach critical race theory, and most said they were opposed to adding the academic approach to their course instruction. Because if you're a high school teacher, you probably honestly don't even know what that means. You probably don't even know what critical race theory is. It's a very kind of something that you would learn in college if you picked a major related to that. This is probably in my lifetime one of the most transparent political scams.
Political views.
Scams I've ever seen. So it's kind of funny, yeah, that's what this law is doing, is it's basically it's putting what somebody who doesn't know what critical race theory means, it's putting what you watched a PragerU video or something. They know that these parents are probably doing that too. They put the kind of language that if you didn't know what that meant, and you also didn't know that this is not being taught, the kind of language you would want to hear, which is or that an individual, by virtue of the individual's race or sex, bears responsibility for actions committed in the past by other members of the same race or sex. By the way, if you're in grade school, like a teacher teaching that one race is responsible for, or this is not the problem. The problem is that kids of that age are just brutally mean to each other. This is truly the least of grade school kids' worries. If you're one of the sort of deformed little kids like me, you're just really trying not to get shoved into a trash can. That's really, you're not too worried about whether your race, what your quote unquote race was responsible for. You're just trying not to get your lunch thrown in the toilet. And the last of these 666 laws that they're working with here is permitless carry. Permitless carry. So if you walk into the Chipotle and you're I just said pinto beans, not black. I said cilantro lime rice, not the brown rice. So I am frankly...
I'm calling bluff.
Permitless, that feels wrong. Permitless. Permitless carry. Texans had the right to carry a gun in public since 1995. They could do this.
I'm calling bluff.
Since then, more gun-friendly legislation has followed. However, Texans have always needed to obtain a license to take a gun outside their home or vehicle. Starting Wednesday, that's no longer the case. The new law allows anyone who can legally own a firearm to carry it in public as long as it's in a holster. That's a first since Reconstruction. There's a lot of, I did like a gun thing a while back where I was kind of looking through like statistics and all this and trying to like make sense of the bigger picture of it. And the conclusion I came to is like, yeah, it seems like statistically guns don't really make people safer. They end up just like shooting themselves in the penis or whatever on accident. Seems to be like pretty common. But there are a lot of, I think in a lot of viewers, people in the Discord and community and all this, who have an argument for like a leftist perspective argument for gun ownership and all this stuff and looser gun regulations. So I'm open to that argument. But I will say, like from the statistics I've looked at, and in my own experience, in Texas especially, is like a dude open carrying to Dave & Buster's with like a gun, with like a CZ in his cargo shorts. And that's actually a real story. Like a coworker did that. Somebody was like, oh yeah, like for some reason he has a gun at this like work team building thing. Maybe if he didn't get his tickets from the skee ball, you know, if he won the skee ball, he would have done some of this. None of my tickets came out. You know what?
I'm calling bluff.
Also, I have to say, this is kind of weird. I was not expecting this, but this is from the NPR article. If anybody can, like, this seems wrong to me. If anybody can send me some data on this. And according to April polling data from the University of Texas and the Texas Tribune, nearly 60% of Texans oppose permitless carry. 60% don't want to do this. That statistic is pretty crazy, so I might have to...
I'm calling bluff.
I might have to say...
I'm calling bluff.
So there we go, guys. That's what we be up to over here in Texas. A lot of bullshit. We're doing this. So happy Simptember, everybody, and bye-bye. And don't forget to take this with you. And before you go, I got a little present for you. Take that with you. Bye-bye. Hey everybody, and thanks so much for watching this video. Like all the other YouTube and podcast perverts, I now have a Patreon. Every week on this Patreon, I'm uploading 2
exclusive
Patreon-exclusive shows. They're like real shows, more produced, more edited.
a behind-the-scenes show where I reveal all my secrets, and a show where we go deep on an important topic that you will want to know about. Also, you get the daily and complete live show audio-only feeds. And at the top level, for only 25 bones, you can become a producer. These people that you're seeing right here make this program possible. Without them, nothing. It goes right in the toilet, right in the trash, and we set it on fire. Ooh, these are the most beautiful people of my whole life. Look at these people. Are you kidding me? Yeah, right. Good, nice try. Good, nice try. Good, nice try. It's these people who make it work. So please, for Christ's sake, become a patron. Bye-bye. I love you.